It's Tuesday! Alright, so, next week we're going to talk about the first episode of Dino Charge. I'm going to tell you what I think the season's going to be, how the season will be. You can tell a lot by the first episode of a season. Or not, maybe. The first episode's usually when they try the hardest. Usually. Okay, so today, though, we're going to talk about Tommy Oliver, Power Ranger legend. Why is Tommy, or Thomas Oliver, everyone calls him Tommy though, but Thomas is his full name. So, why is Tommy a Power Ranger legend? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that, actually. Tommy has been a Power Ranger. It depends on how many times you count. I guess if we're going by how many Sentai counterparts he has, Tommy has been a Power Ranger a total of 6 different times. On 4 different teams. I'll figure out how Zoom works with this eventually. So, let's talk about Tommy. First, in his first premiere, Tommy was the Green Ranger for Mighty Morphin Rangers. He was the first 6th Ranger. Remember we talked about them? He was the first 6th Ranger and the very first Green Ranger. Tommy was originally evil. And then this whole thing happened, and then he was good, and then he lost his powers, and then he got them back. And then he lost them again. And then, in the second season of Mighty Morphin Rangers, he came back as the White Ranger. And then, in the third season, when their powers were lost, when their power cores were destroyed. I should make a video about powers being destroyed. Tommy was the White Ninja Ranger, but he could still morph into his old self. And while he's the White Ranger, this was also the only time that a team of Rangers was led by a White Ranger instead of a Red Ranger. After that, they lost their Mighty Morphin powers for good, and they got the Zeo powers, and Tommy became Zeo Ranger 5 Red. So that was the first time he was a Red Ranger. I don't know how they lost the Zeo powers, because I've never seen Turbo, a Power Ranger movie, because Netflix is stupid. But eventually Tommy does become the Red Turbo Ranger, and then after he graduates, he leaves and passes his powers on to TJ. After Tommy leaves, he apparently, according to the wiki, goes to MIT, where he gets a doctorate in paleontology. Ironic, since his friends had the powers of dinosaurs. Maybe, maybe not. He becomes in possession of the Dino Gems, which leads him to form the Dino Thunder team, and he eventually becomes, within the first 6 episodes, becomes the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. So he is a total of 5 colors: green, white, red, and black. Okay, that was 4. Because he was so many different Rangers, he has several different Sentai counterparts. His first counterpart from when he was the Green Ranger is Yamato Tribe Night Bura, who was the Green Sentai from Kaiyuri Sentai Zayu Ranger. His White Ranger counterpart is Kau Hoshinsai from Gosei Sentai Dai Ranger, which is interesting because Tommy's White Ranger form was from White Ranger powers were from a different Sentai than his Mighty Morphin Green Ranger powers were. And so his 6th Ranger part didn't actually really fit in. It fit into a different Sentai, but I guess they decided they didn't want to adopt that Sentai, and they just wanted to keep Mighty Morphin Rangers going. So they just pulled out the White Ranger so that they could bring Tommy back, because he was the most popular character on the show. Sarungme, who was actually a girl, by the way, is his White Ninja counterpart from Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. And so apparently the Sentais have had a girl lead the team, and Power Rangers hasn't. Shame on you. His Red Turbo counterpart is Kaiyusuke Janai from Gekusoi Sentai Kara Ranger. And his Dino Thunder counterpart is Asuka Ono from Bakuru Sentai Abba Ranger. So those are all his Sentai counterparts. Another thing that's great about Tommy is that he's the only Ranger who's ever been a Red Ranger, and the leader of a team 3 different times. When he left Turbo, it was really sad because Tommy was the last of Zordon's Rangers. I don't care that Zordon approved of all the other ones. Like, even though he wasn't picked by Zordon, I still think of him as one of Zordon's Rangers, and he was the last of the 6 Rangers to leave. And it was really sad when he left. He's most recently came back as a Green Ranger. Like I said, we need to do a whole video on the idea of what happens when the powers are destroyed. For the Legendary War at the end of Super Mega Force, and it was so great to see him again because Jason David Frank, his actor, he loves the franchise so much, and he loves being a Power Ranger. He has even said he wouldn't mind only being remembered as that guy from Power Rangers. Like, to me, to love a show that you do that much is just amazing. Tommy has been in the most episodes of Power Rangers ever, more than any Ranger, with 200. Over 200 episodes. So now we're gonna have some Tommy quotes because Tommy has said some great things over his course of being a Power Ranger, and I think we need to honor those great things that he says. These are words from a wise man, people. Take note. I will say the most amazing one last because I feel it is one that really captures the spirit of being a Power Ranger. When he first became the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, these are all from Dino Thunder because he says the best stuff. When he's about to create his morpher, he says, the villain says, "Aren't you getting a little old for this, Tommy?" And he says, "I may be old, but I can still pull it off." And then after he morphs, he says, "Just like riding a bike." And then he tells the villain, "No, I've got a message for your boss. Tell him Tommy's back, and no matter what color I am, he'll never defeat me." Yeah. And so this is my favorite quote that Tommy has ever said, and it is my favorite one of my favorite quotes from Power Rangers, if not my favorite, even though Tommy is not my favorite Power Ranger. It says, "You know, there's a moment back there where I almost gave up. But then I realized it's not just the costume and suit that gives me strength. It's who I am on the inside that really empowers me. And if that just doesn't really capture the spirit of what it means to be a Power Ranger, I don't really know what does." And to me, that's why Tommy is the greatest Power Ranger to ever live. Not just because he's been a Ranger for a long time, but because he's one of those Rangers who really knows what it means to be a Power Ranger. So that's the legend of Tommy Oliver. We can only hope to see him again. He's the most reoccurring character, and he's amazing, and his actor's amazing, and is also like a 5th degree black belt or something. It's insane. And an undefeated MMA champion. Or is it UFC? He's an undefeated champion in something. Alright, so that's all we have time for today. See you next week, and may the power protect you all.